to-go boxes.
Our to-go boxes, they're not good. They're f***ing amazing. How did we get started here at Albemarle Paper? Well, late 2008, my cousin John and I started this paper company, and we got all sorts of different products.
Hey, Nick, come on, man. Let's get to work.
You got cleaning products too? You got a party this weekend? We got your back. Anything you need here at APS. Plates, napkins, silverware, table covers. We got everything covered, right, boys? What other items do we carry? Paper towels? I got it. Toilet paper? I got it. Gloves? We got you. Pizza boxes? You're probably wondering, where are we? Where's Albemarle Paper? Don't you worry about that. We got you. I'll bring the product to your front door. See you guys.
Hey, Christian, what did you learn today?
Well, I think as a team we learned that we have to keep our focus for 90 and plus minutes, because after 3-0 I think we played really soft the last 5 minutes, and I was grateful to concede, because it's a lesson that we need to, evidently we need to still feel it in ourselves, because then after you go in the half-time, and the risk is that what stays in your mind is the goal you just conceded. Instead, I think the first half the boys play unbelievably well and created many chances, 3 already in the first 5 minutes, and then after we score 3, but we had many more. And Birmingham, they had a couple of chances, one of them they score, and it looks like that the first half is a disaster, but instead the first half is great. And it's important that you play really strong the first 5 minutes, the middle game, and the last 5 minutes, and the same in the second half. I think in the second half we created a lot, but we were a little bit too soft in certain situations in the last third, thinking that we are going to create another one and another one. Instead, we have to be a lot stronger, because again in the second half I felt that we had many chances to score another one, maybe 2 and 3. But we don't have this belief that we can score 5, 6, 7 when instead we can. Of course we can. And then they had a couple of chances, and again they do a good job to score. But the result doesn't worry me. First of all, it's a win, so not getting away from that. The boys won, they didn't lose. But for me, the result we should have scored a lot more than that. And in terms of performance and structure of the game, I'm happy. We just have to be stronger in the mentality, but this is something that we need to keep working on.
What did you think of Westwood's pass to Capetti?
Good. We know Ashley is great. He was one of the top players in Premier League, which is the strongest league in the world, in this kind of assist. So I don't see why he shouldn't do it here. We know Enzo is a guy that always wants to attack the space, wants to attack the goal. So I think we have to keep in mind that they have played together 2 games, 3 games, not more than that. So it's work in progress. They just arrived, and the fact that they already find each other is a great sign.
How did you make it out of today, health-wise?
Sorry?
Health-wise, how did you make it out of today?
Good. That's why we wanted to limit certain players in terms of minutes, because we have a week and we didn't want to have any injury. For precaution, we took off Nathan Byrne half-time. He should be fine, and also we didn't want to give too much game time to Adil, because he's just coming back from a little muscular injury, but it was more for precaution. So I wanted. This is also very important that the last game of season, everybody finish healthy.
Westwood, captain and team today. What was the decision behind that? Will he be the opening day captain?
I think it will be Ashley. I think Ashley is being captain at big clubs in as I said, in the biggest league in the world, in Aston Villa and Burnley, and I think he gave us this kind of calmness, this kind of experience and communication that is needed in the team. Even you can hear him talking in the last 5 minutes, reminding the boys, in any case we are 3-2 up and just play strong the last 5 minutes. So he's a guy that has a lot of experience for everybody to learn from, and we are lucky to have him, and so why I want to capitalize on that.
You went undefeated this preseason. What's your biggest takeaway so far from this preseason heading into?
I think that the boys are understanding the way we want to play with the ball and without the ball. I think we were quite aggressive. This is the team I like. Aggressive even to a point at times to look maybe too much, but in the way we want to press. But I thought, and the biggest plus I take from is that there is belief in the team, in the way we play, that there is, and everybody understands his role within the squad. This is important.
I asked Ben last week if the game was slowing down for him, and he said it actually is getting almost faster because of the pace of play that you guys are. Are you noticing a faster pace with this team?
Yeah, if we are well positioned on the pitch and if we play like we are supposed to play, 1-2 touches, I think the pace of the game can be really quick. It slows down when we are not well positioned and we want to run with the ball, and then it becomes difficult to play, and becomes when we are building the play. I mean, and then it becomes easier for the opposition. But when we are well positioned, we play 1-2 touch football. It's difficult for the opposition, and it becomes quicker. And I think we showed on a number of occasions. Unfortunately, we didn't capitalize on that, but we had many set pieces, we had many corners, we had many attacking play, and few shots on targets. I don't know exactly the stats, but when I look, it felt like that in the first half, in the second half, the game most of the time was played in the opposition half. That was my impression.
Is there a chance Tuiloma can be integrated for next weekend?
Yeah, of course. I want to see how he is. He's doing a little bit of training today. He wants to do a little bit tomorrow as well. But Bill was in pre-season with Portland. He's an experienced guy in the league. He's a guy that has characteristics that I love in a defender, with the ball and without the ball. So if fit, he will be integrated straight away in the roster.
Enzo scored again. Enzo scored again.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been.
That's what you should do.
Yeah, exactly right. So is he one of the key components on your squad now that the guys are understanding more your style of play? Is he one of the key components that was missing to your squad?
No, I think I want to be. By saying that, it looks like I'm disrespectful to Danny Rios, which he did the job for us. I think that Enzo's got different characteristics. So we had the guys that could score goals. Carol could score goals. Danny could score goals. Andre can score goals. But obviously, for me, Enzo brings something different. He's a guy that he has a different pace also in his legs, and he attacks the opposition with. He's ferocious at times when he goes to press, and he's generous, as you can see. He attacks the goal every time. He presses strong, even he puts himself at risk in tackling. But I love that. I love this kind of fight that he has in himself, and I think he will be better and better. There is only that because he's new to the league. He's still learning English. He's still learning how to live in this country. But he looks like that he always plays for us.
Christian, you're a week away from the season opener. What do you do in training this week to get everybody ready? What do you need to work on as a team?
We need to work on our game, improve with the ball, building from the back, building the midfield in the last third, pressing high, defending as a mid block, and defending in the last third. So all the components plus obviously the set pieces. So it's a week that we work always all the components of the game. Nothing more, nothing less.
You had all your DP score today. I just wonder maybe the importance of that and what you see going into the season for all these guys, for Emil, for Harold, and Enzo.
It's very important. Psychologically, it's very important. There is no getting away from that because confidence doesn't matter how big player you are. Confidence coming from scoring a goal, making an assist is always high. It gets everybody happy, it gets everybody high. So I'm very happy. I expect that in a sense because they are guys that they have experience and quality, and they play in position where they all play in the attacking third, in the last third. So they are supposed to score goals, but when they do, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And I think that will give them extra confidence. So for them, I think it's just a positive.
And then last season you went into the opening match as an assistant coach. This year you're leading the opening match as a head coach, in front of potentially 70,000 people. Is there a different way that you see it or feel this game?
Of course, the role is not the same, the responsibility is not the same, and I wish that we can have the same kind of attendance that we had last year. That was really, I mean, it was unique. Walking into the pitch, it felt magical. Really, honestly, it looked like wherever you look around, you met supporters everywhere. So it was just magical. It was great. I think that there are also different expectations when you are in year one and from year two, but we have to manage that because we are still a club that is building itself, and we need to give this guy a little bit of time, and because they work very well and very hard on a daily basis, and they always want to please the fans.
Is that
Always.
why you wanted an audience for the game today?
Sure. I thought that it would have been a good idea to have the supporters with us because it makes the atmosphere better. As simple as that. The atmosphere is better. It's better to play in front of people. It's better to play in front of the fans, and it's also good for the fans to have you know, a glance of the team, how it's going to be from next season, starting from next week. But if they can have, you know, a view before, a look before, is always positive for everyone.
Christian, Vinny Mello didn't dress. Do you expect him to be available next week?
I don't know because Vinny had an issue, medical issue that we are monitoring. He's fine, but he's going to be monitored, and I'm not sure if he's going to be available for selection for next week. We need to see how the week progresses.
How do you think you did today?
Yeah, quite well. I think we look good like as a team, especially first half. We create a lot of chances, but you know we have to be more clinical for sure. You know we had more situation, and you know when you see the results, it's 3-2, and for sure should be higher. And I think especially the second goal what we lost, you know, because the first one was like good action, but the second one was too easy from us. And we know like we play good, but we have to, you know, be more clinical for sure.
You didn't get a preseason with this squad last year. How much different is it that not only did you get a preseason with this squad, but it's mostly an intact group of people. It's not changing. It's the same guys.
Yeah, exactly. For me, and I think for whole team, it's much more easier. Of course, you guys will judge us after a few games, but I think we feeling much better than in last year. When I came to the team, you know, we were still building the team. It was a lot of new players. Then we changed a coach and different trainings, different tactics, and I think now is looking. Everyone now know what should do because we are working with Christian Lattanzio, you know, longer, and we know what he demands from us. So yeah, I think that the all preseason games, not only today, but was a lot of good things. We know we still have to improve few things, but I think it's going to in good way.
You and Carol partnered up for a goal, for your goal, and then Enzo also scored. How important is it to have all you guys in sync and have good chemistry going into the season?
Yeah, like you said, it's very important. I like it, you know, especially because Enzo is a new player, but I think he's a very good player. He can cooperate with us, you know. Still, he knows that he's trying to practice his English, you know, to speak better with me and Karol to give us, you know, some instruction. But he's going better, you know. He is like the guy who wants to do it, and I think our chemistry is much better than we started, and I think we'll be much better in the season.
What have you noticed from Enzo, just being out there with him?
You know, he's strong guy, quick as well, aggressive, fight for every ball. I like this type of player. You know, he always wants the ball, trying to go behind the space. So I know we can find him there. Also, you know, when I cut inside, I see him in the box because he wants to get this ball. Karol as well. You know, I know what I can expect from them, and they know what they can expect from me when I am on my position. So I think we had today few chances more from the crossing. We could score, but we didn't. But But we are creating situations. So this is the most important thing.
Some number nines can have a reputation of being selfish. I think he's very unselfish. How much have you noticed that?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But I think Dani Rios, he also was the guy who wasn't selfish. I like also play with Dani. He was a very good player, but I think Enzo also is a little bit different type of player, but also good for our team.
Charlotte last year, broke an MLS record attendance here. This will be your first time kind of going to an opening match with maybe 70,000 people at the Bay. Have you talked to the players about that very first game?
I was on the first game. I was watching last year. I saw whole atmosphere. That was something amazing, incredible, and I think in this year will be similar, and we will show our fans that we'll start in good way the season, win the first game, and then keep going.
Does it surprise you at all to see how an American fan base has created this culture in just 1 year?
When I came here from England and Poland, there was I was in 2 clubs who had very good fans. A lot of fans was coming on the games, and that on the beginning was surprised, but our fans was incredible in whole season. And like you said, that was maybe on the beginning surprise, but then in the season they were brilliant. So I hope in this season they will help us as well.
What would you say would be maybe some of your personal goals going into year 2 and having a full season with Charlotte FC?
I say again,
your personal goals for
season
2.
Yeah, for sure. I want to have more goals and assists because that's what team and coach demand from me, and I know I can do it. And now I think our cooperation in front is looking much better than in last year, and of course winning the games. And I said in one interview before that I also want to help the younger players, less experienced, to help them the step forward. Like, I don't know, for example, Ben Bender is the guy who is looking more experienced in this year than in last year, and me, Carol, and other guys who play in Europe, and we had some national team experience. We want to help them because they have big potential to play on the highest level.
How do you think being at the World Cup helped Carol?
That was also not easy for him because he didn't play a lot. He wanted to play more for sure because he was our important player in qualification. Me too, by the way, but I wasn't there, so for me also was disappointed. But he was on the World Cup. He was playing there, with the best players in the world against Messi. So for sure that will be for him very good experience, and then. He has to do it, the same stuff what he was doing last season. We know we can demand from him a lot, and he will. I know he will do it in this season again.
Does Enzo take some of the pressure off him a little bit?
I don't know. Like these two, they have to cooperate together. They have to score goals, create the chances. Me and other wingers and strikers, we have to do the same. We know there is Vini, Melo, Andre, Nuno. There's a lot of good players up front, so. We know we can create the chances and scoring goals.
How do you think you played today?
I think it's a tough game because there weren't a lot of chances, and then they scored 2 goals. Obviously, it's not ideal, but I think it's good to build on. We were unbeaten all preseason, so I just kept building on that and a connection with the center backs.
There's a lot of movement, center backs in, left back, right back. How do you try to keep everything under control?
Yeah, I mean, the way we play is very aggressive, so it's going to be a lot of shifting, a lot of moving pieces. So I think that if everybody is in the right spot, it just makes our job easier, and it makes it easier to get the ball and to be just in better situations. So
I know you always go into every match like you're going to play. I mean, you had that experience last year.
Yeah.
But how is it different knowing that you're going into next week more than likely being the guy who will come out there first?
I think it's obviously better in terms of mentally I can prepare. It's obviously easier when you have a week to prepare and when you're mentalized that you're going to play. So I think it's just being ready for the opportunity. I've worked very hard for it, and I feel like I'm in a good spot to take advantage of this opportunity.
Have you spoken with Lattanzio about starting next week?
I have not spoken to him, so it's still obviously still up to him, and whatever he decides, I'm a player, so I'm going to accept it. But yeah, I feel good coming into what we've done this preseason, so I feel good.
Yeah, you mentioned that this preseason Charlotte has gone unbeaten. What have you noticed about this squad this year?
I think that the mentality has definitely improved a lot from last year. I think that we have a mentality that we can go out, we can beat every single team that we play. So I think that having that positive look and being ready for the challenge that comes ahead this season is going to be just a good way to attack it and to be ready for what's coming.
And how important is it adding a quality center back like Bill into this mix for you as a goalkeeper as well?
Obviously, it's very important to have guys with experience in the league, and Bill is coming from playing a lot of games in Portland. I've played against him before, and he's a great center back, so it's obviously a great addition for the squad.
Obviously, a lot of positives from coming undefeated in the preseason, though. But if there was an area of improvement you think the team might need to look at in training this week, and in the first game, what do you think that would be?
Yeah, I think just being very solid in the first 5 and last 5 minutes of the games, just not giving up cheap goals and being mentalized that from the very start to the very end, we have to just do our jobs. And if we do that, I think it's going to be very hard to beat us.
And how much are you looking forward to potentially 70,000 people?
Oh, it's going to be incredible. I hope that everybody that can comes out because it's going to be an electric atmosphere like it was all last year. So hopefully we get over 70,000 and we'll have a great time.
Spanish?
Perfecto, bueno, entonces, ¿cómo te estás sintiendo? Estás solamente una semana de que sea, bueno, la gran apertura.
Sí, muy emocionado. La verdad que muy contento por el partido de hoy, por toda la gente que nos vino a apoyar, por la afición y con muchas ganas de que llegue el sábado que viene.
Bueno, también estamos hablando, bueno, hay muchas caras nuevas. ¿Cómo se está viendo la química del equipo?
Creo que ha mejorado mucho en esta pretemporada, creo que nos hemos adaptado al estilo que quiere Cristian, entonces ha sido una pretemporada donde hemos crecido mucho como equipo y obviamente ahorita acaba de llegar Bill también para que se adapte, entonces muy contento con la pretemporada, de verdad.
Bueno, estábamos hablando de que ustedes han estado undefeated en este preseason. ¿Cómo eso ayuda a la moral del equipo?
Eso ayuda mucho porque yo creo que se está viendo un equipo al que es difícil ganarle, ¿no? Entonces cuando se ve eso, creo que es importante para nosotros saber que si hacemos lo que sabemos hacer, va a ser muy difícil que un equipo nos venga a ganar.
Bueno, 70,000 personas. ¿Qué le quieres decir a la afición?
No, sobre todo que nos vengan a apoyar, por favor, que su apoyo nos ayuda muchísimo en el campo y que muchas gracias por el apoyo que siempre nos brindan.
Perfecto.
Sí,
Muchas gracias.
sí, gracias.
Pablo, sobre los diferentes centrales que a veces han ocupado como portero, la comunicación con ellos
Sí.
y qué tan difícil es cuando varían la pareja de centrales.
Pues es difícil, pero es como todo, al final es un equipo y el que entra lo va a hacer lo mejor que pueda. Entonces yo creo que la clave es lo que tú dijiste, la comunicación, que estemos todos conectados, que esté conectada la línea atrás conmigo y con el medio campo, y si hacemos los movimientos bien, nos movemos bien en defensa, creo que es muy difícil que metan gol.
En ese equipo los laterales parece que juegan distinto, no juegan tan pegados a la banda,
Sí.
los ves muchos más cerrados, se unen a la línea de medio campo. Eso en transición defensiva, tú desde atrás, ¿cómo ayudas a comunicarles si algún extremo viene por banda o en esa reconversión defensiva? En tu parte de comunicación,
Sí.
¿qué tanto apoyas?
Sí, yo trato de hablar todo lo que pueda. Obviamente la semana que viene va a ser difícil que me escuchen con 70,000 aficionados, ¿no? Pero la clave, pues sí, es estar bien parados en defensa, porque si estamos bien parados en defensa, luego es muy difícil que rompa la estructura y que nos metan un gol.